And oh, bit of a nose-to-tail contact, and right there, RJ Racing gets spun around, and that results in a 3-car parking lot.
Yeah, you're going to have to get a replay here going down into turn 1. We saw a little bit of contact between these two up towards the front, but further back, looks like Gross trying to just, oh man, huge contact in front. Yeah, I saw it on the initial feed. The camera switched over right as the replay here going down into turn 1. Heavy on the brakes, maybe just a little bit too heavy, gets it squirrely, loses the back end, it comes around. Luckily not too much more damage. There's a little bit of car contact between the two guys going around the outside, but everybody had GTP stuck together with GT Pros, GTAM on the inside. Tough break for Gross coming through turn 4. Got onto that replay a little bit late. Couldn't quite tell if he got a little bit of a touch.
And has he? Yeah, a little bit of help from one of the GT Pro Porsches.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Got into the right rear quarter panel coming out of the International Horseshoe. Oh, traffic in front of him right here. He must have just completely messed up the bus stop, and he did. Huge wiggle through the center. Comes back up on the racetrack in the worst possible place. Obviously, nothing he could really do. He's lost complete control of that car. Comes across and collects Selena Ward. That's our first and third place drivers in our leading class, the GTP class, taken out in one fell swoop through the bus stop.
Ouch. And hard hit into that wall. That is a violent impact for Selena Ward, and well, it's not ideal to have a race come to a close like that, and you know that that's going to be one you'd be feeling in the morning. As watch the air this car gets when it hits that wall. No wonder that left rear was broken. Coming together potentially. Here's the 21 car, and no sign of Ambrosio anywhere. So possibly just checking up. He will have lost this all by himself. Yep, the back end just going to swing around, and right there, that's where. There was a big checkup, and
yeah, coming through the kink. Everybody single file still, getting down towards turn 3. Late on the brakes, maybe to cause a little bit of.
Yep.
The 123 just lost that back end.
As I think just try to get in line and misjudge that one big time, and this guy's getting around, so possibly a hit. Hit by the GTP. It spun way off and into the grass and has backed that one into the barriers.
Losing the back end as you're coming out just a little bit. Yeah, he came up off the bottom of the racetrack just a few feet, and unfortunately he got the short end of the stick coming out of NASCAR 4.
Roy Vermeer having a problem coming back onto the oval, and he's been given a helping hand by the digital Ferrari just behind. Spins the 531 around, and then just after, Nick Nelson having this problem. Now this is one of the LMP2 cars funneling back onto the oval. There you see the Ferrari just up the road, and that is a bad rejoin and a half, and that forced Nelson to tow International Horseshoe and down into turn. He's definitely had a hit from behind. He loses the back end by himself with the digital cage Ferrari right there, acted up and into another car.
The slower class cars, and is having a hard time getting through them, so we're starting to get into that endurance style racing. Saw the AMG just kind of came down on them a little bit on the entry as well. That's a tough position there for the 33, and it's a tough position for the entire field. Just got in a little hot, got into the side of the Ferrari, International Horseshoe.
Yeah, got a bit of a tip from behind. That's what spun the 80 car. That was just
that was a different driver. My goodness.
He jumped on the binders trying to avoid traffic and just got
here under fire. I can't quite tell what machine that is right behind him. But, he's the one behind. He got heavy on the brakes. My mistake. The full course yellow's out. It is embarrassing. I've done it before, though, so I know the feeling.
Yep, right there. You've got a glimpse of it. We'll back this one up so we don't have to take a look at the whole thing from start to finish. But that right there is a pretty hefty whack and jamming on the binders. And, God, that is a weird wreck. Yeah. It almost looks to me like the car just...
What in the world could have
happened? Right there.
Oh, he twitched up just a little bit, and I don't know.
Take another look back, and this is through that bus stop chicane, and just went straight. What happened there?
Did it again off of the rejoin, just because he got extremely lucky. But yeah, just man, on that race car, coming down to the bus stop all by himself. Oh no.
Yep, there it is.
The hard overcorrection to the right. Obviously hindsight's 20/20, and you wish you would have just turned it down to the left through the grass, but I don't know. You're definitely right. He just got in there way too hot. Oh my goodness.
Diving down and in, and has he hopped the bumps? Nope, just looped the back end up, and oh, that was the Fisher Motorsports GTP, just avoided disaster there. There's been a lot of great heads-up driving of our Torres out of pit road, clotheslined by an LMP2.
Oh man, bad awareness from the LMP2 coming through there. I mean, it's really going down. Oh, he just got late on the brakes. Gave him a little tap in the rear and locked him up a little bit and spun right around. We've been
trying to get around one of the GT pros and looking like a little bit of contact potentially. Yep, right there. The 46 getting dumped by the 992. Spins him around and into the grass. Good job to keep that out of the wall. Kind of going back to the last incident, though, there's been a lot of collisions between the LMP2s and the GT Pro cars in particular over the last hour or so. And you have to wonder if maybe there's some frustration and animosity now between the two classes. And, oh, just had a Ferrari come across the nose into the West Horseshoe.
Yeah, it looks like just a miscommunication there across the board, and you see the number 80 try to hold the brakes there at that point. That's what he's supposed to do. Tried to bring that car back out on track, tried to refrain what that lockup, that brake smoke was. Oh, that was a little bit of how you doing. Some rough racing here. Probably a little bit too... Yep, there they are, side by side with the number 5 Mercedes. Tried to cut back over, thought they were clear. Clearly, they were not.
A lot of lap traffic trying to dice through, and right there, one of the Mercedes cleans them out, and it becomes a parking lot. Nowhere to go.
Through no fault of our own, spinning LMP2 in front of us.
Oh, well, speaking of spinning
there
cars.
We go.
It's one of the GTPs that just collected, that was the lone Acura that just collected Rory Vermeer and put the 531 Ferrari off the track.
It's got to be a very big incident with those GTPs coming in from behind.
And then one of the digital chicane Ferraris having this moment at turn 1, loops the back end and causes the World of Sim Racing LMP to go scrambling.
Just remember that the new damage mod.
Big crash. Oh! Through the wreck. He should have lifted out to let them just wreck it out in front of him. There's no need to try to gas it up into that mix.
No, I don't think so either. Oh, there is that monstrous lick for the 048 there. At this point, they want to do this better than you. Let's go for the GTPs.
Trouble for Simon Wander, Yellow Submarine Squad. Whoa! Way off the track at the kink and hard into the wall. Drivers left, and that has spun that car into the runoff area of the West Horseshoe. They have been forced to take the tow to pit road. And all by himself, this one will be, as he's just going to get in too hot. Sure enough, spins the back end around, and Torque Freak might be able to hang that one the long way around. Oh, trouble in front! Two GTMs coming, or two GT cars coming together, and that's one of the leaders. That is not one of the leaders. I thought that was the second place runner, and he's just he's been hit again. He's been hit again.
Absolute chaos coming into the corner.
We were indicator all by themselves, and just in too hot, and oh boy.
That is a brutal lick into the wall. This has the makings of a little bit of a rear brake lockup coming down into turn 1. Gets a little bit wide, probably tried to trail brake a little bit too much there, and I think that's exactly what happened. Yeah, I think that's absolutely right for that here at this point. There's Western Horseshoe there. It looks like the lone Acura in the field going to come to their outside. That was, you know what, though, I've got to say that was a little bit too deep. I think this may be a little bit of bloods up here, as there we see the GTP work around the outside. The LMP2 tries to stick their nose in, and the GTP rather, does close the door on him there.
And like they're not there.
Yeah, I mean, he's as tight can be down on that interior line. There we see him. Let's watch as he turns on out here. And that did look a little blind. So let's not say that was meant to be. I don't think he realized the GTP was there.
The picture. Down the inside, a bit of an opportunistic move to put it bluntly. And then, good driving there from the 33 to get that thing stopped.
Bus stop. So could be contact, could also be a situation just a little bit too much of the curbs. Yep. Car got unsettled, tried to correct it, overcorrected. Great job locking it down, kind of sliding along that interior safer barrier.
Have they been helped around, or is this all by themselves? Oh, nope, just cold tires looped it on their own, and then that is one of the worst places to be hit. They were already tagged once, and then sooner or later, your luck just runs out.
Yeah, especially when you have such a long run without a green flag and the tires are not properly built. Oh no.
Ah. Not even I thought the car would have spun a bit more than that.
Got out luckily from all the ordeal.
I hate to say it, but I mean, as much as a lunch that was, that Fisher Sports Motorsports car was there. I mean, Adam Chick had half the car down the inside by the time they started to be turned in on.
West Horseshoe. And the Trading Paints car just missing out on his own. Oh, there's this light contact. Which team?
Yep. And locking up a bit heavily, trying to lap one of the GT Pros and spins around. That's our lone Acura in the field. The Fisher Motorsports car that got turned around and shot sideways, and not the only one, as Thomas Mora was spun off just in front, and that was Curtis. Oh, that was by himself. Looped back in. I thought it was off of the bumper of a GT Pro, and that was a horrible place for that to have happened, right into the wall.
Yeah, right into the edge of the wall right there. So, in that Armco barrier, it is metal barrier. So unfortunate, and we see more cars. Oh, please, 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 please. All right. Got away unscathed.
That was Marcel Unger going off the track, and that was the hit into the wall that Pedro Espadina took, and spins the 88 car around. And then finally, to close out our replay string, Thomas Hazard having this spin coming back onto the oval. Just took too much liberties with getting on the throttle, loops the back end, but that's a harmless little slide. Oh, that's
Fisher, doesn't it?
Oh, they didn't have anything to do with that. That was contact with the GT Pro to a GTM, and they were forced to stop. Got there, but watch this. Two wheels up on the curb and in the grass, and that's all she wrote. It's one of the most common mistakes in motorsports, and that's not exclusive to the prototypes. Any car will do that. Further into the chicane and loops the back end hard into the wall. Just kept it out of the wall. The Lamborghini taking out an LMP2. That's a bit more.
Right at the exit.
That's a shame as well. I mean, that was looking to be such a good run, and then just got cleaned out, if I'm being honest, by intense sim racing there. Snow Shatton machine coming back onto the oval. And whoopsie daisy, and has been tagged by one of the Porsches. And I'm thinking help from Full Send Racing. No, lost that by themselves. On towards the oval. That's the tire barriers. That's... Ouch.
Another missed time rejoin into the...
Just a second ago, 8th place runner in GTM, spinning around.
Had to pinch in thighs into the inside with 3 wide going to turn number 1, and they have the LMP2 that kind of like brake at the same time. There's contact, and there they go.
Fisher Motorsports.
Oh no!
And oh dear. Oh, that's a bad place to hit the wall, right where it juts out to let safety vehicles in.
Yeah.
That is
that's not the GTP though.
Oh, absolutely. Nothing at all that Anthony Bill did wrong. And all this considering how badly that could have gone to turn 3 out of the S's, trapped between 2 LMP2s, and out of the meat and the sandwich getting spun around.
Is that?
It is 5 p.m. I've been awake since 5 a.m. I have cold pizza. It wants to be microwaved. I've been talking for 10 hours straight, so I am going to give it. Oh, well, there we go. North Sim Racing getting punted around, and well, there was Austin. You heard him ready to jump into the booth right out of the gate. I'm sorry. Allow me to go away. Thomas Baker just had a spin as well in the same corner. Ay. Well, he got a hit from behind as well, and oh boy, that's a hard hit into the wall as well. Went away hot. He was forced to take a toe to the pits.
Has come together with someone else. Was that smoke down at the inside wall?
Yeah, that was contact down to the inside. Oh, and the 84 Porsche, massive, massive impact there on the 048. That is mega damage.
Oh my word, terrible, terrible accident coming back across the racetrack. Like I said, I did not expect to be coming back 10 hours in and just be greeted by carnage left and right. Oh my gosh, that's just about heart-stopping seeing that. And oh, you can tell the front end's completely killed. He has no steering whatsoever. Just has to crawl it down to the infield and try to get out of the way of everybody. But that's two drivers' nights, or two teams' nights, effectively done in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, you're really not going to be able to get much after that here.
So that, I mean, that's heartbreaking. To come way across the racetrack like that, too, not lock the brakes. I imagine if that GT Pro entry of the 84. Oh my goodness, another incident going down to turn one. Massive contact into the pit wall for the 33. Just clipping a little bit of the inside grass, getting out to the outside a little bit, maybe getting on the throttle a little bit too hard. And I remember right as I came in here before I unmuted my mic to start talking, I remember Nolan started talking about All Pro. Looking back at another replay here. Oh man, the GTM entry at 94, just clipping that grass on the outside of turn 6. Could never get the rear tires back under that image. Odo Basic being a little bit aggressive through the S's, I do believe. Oh yeah, there was no move or room for him to make that move, to be honest with you. He's got a 23-second gap going from the grass to the marbles. Maybe you expect there to be a little bit more grip because you're getting onto the tarmac, but oh man, he got sent right around by another GTM competitor coming down into turn 5. Unfortunately, the oh my goodness, what has happened to the 84 coming out of the bus stop? Oh my word! Heavy impact, nose first. Not the first time we've seen the 84 have heavy damage in the last couple of laps, I do believe. I mean, at least since we've been talking, I think this is the second time we've seen. What in the world is that?
That has the hallmarks to me of potentially a hardware failure in the way that looked. Now, we didn't see the sort of telltale shoot. Let's take a look. Took a move down to the inside of Racing Panda. And hello, contact, my old friend.
Gotta be honest, that's pretty disrespectful from the LMP2 coming around the outside, just completely neglecting the 94's race, if I'm being honest. I mean, the 94 held his line coming down on the bottom of the racetrack. They're already too wide going into turn time up here in the middle of the night. Let's watch the replay first. Yeah, he just kind of comes up on the GT Pro. Honestly, credit to him for not just running the GT Pro over, I gotta say, and locking it down.
GTM, just miscommunication there in a blink out, almost it looked like, for the
one lane on either side of them to get by. Dangerous spot to get by. Very lucky nothing ended up happening. Going down to turn 1, you can see the back end just already kind of stepping out through the entry of the corner. Gets it down to the inside wall. Ooh, did he back up in the middle and just kind of get stuck? Yeah, I mean, I guess he saw the guys coming.
Yeah, he saw the headlights. He saw the headlights coming and just said, this is the better way to be able to handle this here at this point. It's not the best position to be in. You don't obviously want to have yourself prone across the track like that.
Earlier in the event, but coming down into turn 1, maybe just a little bit too heavy. Yeah, too late on the brakes. Get out towards the marble, spin that thing right around. Doesn't look like he made any contact, though, so not too bad. Gets 9-2. It's turn 6, getting back onto the oval.
Yeah, catches a little bit of grass there down on the inside and the rear end of that Porsche. Remember when I talked about earlier in this broadcast, the slow, lazy spins that use
the brakes. If I had to bet, just get that back end sticking around. Yeah, as soon as he turns in, just the back end loses traction. And yeah, a couple competitors might be coming together. Oh, the 33 again. Looks like coming down into turn 6, just gets a little loose on the apex. Might have put the grass coming onto the entry of that corner just a little bit to set off that. I was on board with the GTP race leader, but they're 3 wide and he just doesn't lift. He just flips him in the right rear, sends him all the way down the inside wall. Oh, does make contact with the right front and right rear. P2 LMP2 taken out by our race leader, and you got to think that's going to be a penalty for the 73.
And that's the second time we've seen that today from our race leader. Let us not forget the incident we saw with the Lamborghini coming down through the S's.
The Torque Freak racing machine, we have seen him in battle after battle, and just by himself loses it under braking. That rear end just comes out as he turns into the first apex, and the car just crumples. I mean, that...
well, it's getting somewhere actually today as having to go evasive to avoid the Yellow Submarine squad. Ferrari and loops the...
that are watching this broadcast tonight are not ready for that yet. They don't know us well enough. We are brand new. Oh, is that one of the digital chicane cars going off the track? A bit untidy. That's going to put them down. And here we go. So Oh, and again, it's just that's unlucky. That's just trying to avoid.
Is this going to be contact between the Ferrari and the Mercedes? It will be on the corner exit. I wasn't quite sure. Ferrari out on the marbles, unfortunately, in the 161 entry. Coming as well with something just happened a few moments ago. And I believe this might have been on the verge of the safety car period. Missed the entry to the bus stop.
Missed the entry to the bus stop. Oh, he's stuck in the middle of the bus stop on the racing line. Oh, get out of there. Get out of there, young fella. Yes, well done. Oh, my God.
The temperature runs a little bit wide. Over the curb. Doesn't take anyone with him, Pete. Long before, and I think most of the GTM cars actually pit not too long before we actually ended up with that full course yellow. So for them, it was a shorter pit stop. And the 5 car is going to go through because around goes the Trading Paints racing car. The 621 car was just not ready for that braking.
It was good racing all the way up to that point. Cars side by side, lost tight. Oh, there we go. The Trading Paint car having their spin. Oh, there goes the leader. So that's a second spin for the Trading Paints car.
At the moment, words to the 119 Trading Paints red car with Jeffrey Miller behind the wheel. Oh, my word! That is a huge incident. It slides off the exit of turn number 1. And... no, it wasn't off turn number 1. It was off the kink, and he's just no control. Remember that there is ABS in these cars. So whilst that man may be stomping on the brake as fast as he possibly can, it won't track straight because the ABS kicks in and prevents him at the kink. And as he went to turn in, he wasn't expecting the LMP2 to get down the inside. And that Audi is going to rip some parts off. And on the infield, it was the 531 Ferrari. Got deep down inside of, I believe that was the Fusion car, the 296 Fusion GTD.
P cars have been coming through them like a dose of salts. Oh, there we go. That's a GTP and LMP. Little touch and a spin. That's something to get after Rose Cole. Yep.
That is actually the 73 car who was actually leading the race at that point in time. So, which they still are leading the race, but Dino Vela in the 777 Fusion LMP2, I thought they were actually doing a little bit better a while ago. So we're going to go through a host of replays as we currently see them. There's a few mistakes happening up and down the field at this point in time, and with still 9.5 years.
Mark can get in the car and settle into the race, but essentially puts them down about a pit stop to the leaders, and again in 5, which has just turned the car around. Oh no, lost the back end. Little bit, looked like it might have been a little bit of a tap at the end as a car tried.
I thought it might have actually been a GTP car.
Yep, so that's Simon Hussam driving the GSE Racing Merlin Auto. They're down at the back of the GT Pro.
Is currently in Italy, so it is actually sunrise for those drivers right now. So we're going to see some accidents. There's 2 GTP cars coming together. The 50 car, who is off the pace and I believe a couple laps down at this point in time. And there'll be more as well. This is a exiting pit lane incident.
Yeah, so Rip Souza has just come out of pit lane in the DS Racing.
This might be a drive-through penalty actually for the 18 car, and there's more trouble for the 55 Audi, flashing the headlights there and struggling to... they are having a torrid time with this car. This is an effort because then they offer it back in the reverse, and that's going to be the 29 Mercedes having a spin coming out of the International Horseshoe. Again, we're seeing those marbles on the left-hand side be really, really worked out for them. A little bit of a change in the LMP2 field. Oh, Bakos!
The 6-2. Oh my God, man. What mistake did you just make? Oh no, there's a touch. So there's 4 points. So that's 4 points that's got on his tally and led to the drop.
And it was the Mercedes that kicked everything off. And it's the 5 that was in the lead of actually, it was in second place at that point in time with the GCM standings. And they were in pit lane only about 6 laps ago. So these guys were in with a hot shout of contention here today. A little bit of an unsettled car as they come through the bus stop.
In class, and you mentioned the LMP2. You know, 5 cars on the lead lap, and we thought when Christoph had his a couple of incidents, with the pit lane drive-through. Oh, sorry, a bit too early on the throttle, and it took the back end a little bit. Oh, another back end stepping out there on the number 6 LMP2. Is that it? No, that's a
that's GTP.
That's GTP. That's Jonathan Dance in the number 6 Torque Freak Racing car, just having a little bit of incident. Oh yeah. Off the wall is kind. he can just get back in and
Eggs of the bus stop. Check this moment out. This is about to be a huge one for another car that was in contention. We're just talking about fatigue. You see the car transition over the curb. It gets a little bit sideways, and then it's an overcorrection.
oh, and that's all it takes, a little overcorrection. Yeah, what is it? Last year or 2 years ago, they had the sausage curbs in the bus stop, and every second driver would do that. Oh, that's an untidy incident. That's just a little bit of a move. Cars coming together. Yeah, and that's what's happened. That is killed over the last 4 hours of the race. In every class, there is at least 3 cars that are fighting for the podium. They're not fighting for the podium, fighting for the win. Oh, looks like a car has just hit the marbles and into the fence. Racing, is it? Oh, it's in the Intend Racing. Oh, it's just looked to go on the inside of the LMP2 around the international hairpin. The LMP2's thought.
As it looks like they've got a replay of Intense Sim Race, and they having an issue in turn 1, and they just been spun around. And
that is the second time the Intense Sim Racing has tried to go up the inside of a slot class car, and I don't like to say it this way, the slot class car has turned down at Daytona 24 for 2024. This is part 4 of a 4-part stream series for this 3 car. Or maybe it's a nice little look. Oh, a little bit late on the locks. The front wheel. Oh, that's the Merc. So that's a GT Am car, and oh, that's an unfortunate spin. That's maybe just a little bit too fast through the second hairpin. Oh, and again, we've seen that a number of times with the GTP cars. Is that as they're coming off turn 6 and they just start to spin up just a little bit before they get onto that apron, and away they go. Is this a car with cold tyres coming out of the pits to number 42? Under the marbles, off the outside the edge of the track. Oh, a little bit early, turn early. TP car. And maybe this is Ryan Walker's fault, because I said these cars come and talk to us. They were doing well in the race. Oh, looks like that's a pass. That's an overtake. Not full position in class. That's a pro car versus an Am car. Is that an attempt at overtake? Come through the little kink. Oh, no. Oh, that's really unfortunate. The Mercedes lost a little bit of rear end and instability. That's got Iker Estefan. Oh, no, that is up the back. That is coming out to play. Really, really unfortunate. Hard to say as a race trial. I think that was more net code, that one. The 278, as we can see, is just an incident. That's Thomas Sorensen at the wheel in the stop and go racing. And that just looks like he's overshot. He's touched the marbles, and once you're on the marbles there and into the grass, you can't stop it from hitting the fence. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I believe that was the second place GTP car.
Your favourite drivers are, and a little bit of action. Whoa, that is a big crash there. Here, users, basically, whoa.
Oh, that was that. Yeah, a crash under the safety car. That's a.
Self-spin, cold tyres, self-spin. Yeah, nothing more than cold tyres, but unfortunately the car has stayed right in the middle of the track. He's done his best. Oh, that is the worst spot to be. Oh, no. And one of the, I think it's the LMP2 cars has crashed. A couple of other cars went off in the lead up just to avoid, in the Fisher Motorsport. They're already a number of laps. They're about 4 laps down. That's just Thomas, I think, pushing too hard out of the bus stop, just trying to make it up. And racing. Now those guys have been superstars in the Pro Series so far. So not a good time. Oh, there we go. That explains it. That's not a driver error. And it's still right up the back of him as this race goes on. So I don't think Josh Gowan's given up any. Oh, there's a little bit of a just an overdrive.
Andrea Blacola, the car now taking over the wheel, and amazingly, considering that they had issues earlier on in the bus stop, Kinetic Racing with Vincent K. Thomas vehicle heading into the turn 1, and he got tagged around by the Meyer SimSpeed GTP.
2 digital chicane cars, and they were just not really battling, just one or the other, line astern, just a little bit hot, touching the marbles on the way in, stayed a bit wide, and there's no grip out there on the marbles.
As it was now, that's about what was going on. Yeah,
Did that yellow car even know he was on the inside there? I really don't like it when cars go under that yellow apron line, hey.
Himself a pretty good spot coming through the kink, just clipped that inside grass, sent him right around to the left. Ooh, pretty heavy contact with that left rear. Nobody really on his lap, I don't believe, in the, man, just kind of got dove down into turn 5 there. That just seemed like a little bit of a late move there, and unfortunately.
Let's take another look at that. I think that was a little bit of a turn down there from the Acura.
The bottom of the racetrack, gonna have to get it. Look what happens. Just kind of looked like he cut off the nose, and then also the other GTM kind of not quite tell. Oh, was that Fusion? What is that? The GTM leader, the 296?
It is.
Oh my goodness!
Good ring to it. Oh, that's your former
man.
leader. That's Intense Sim Racing, getting into the side of your former GT Pro leader.
Gosh, I'm sorry, I've run out of things to say about the 73. Holy cow, here it is, the GT Pro, GT Am side by side. It's the 29 GT. Oh man, the 29 GT Am, who's honestly been up towards the front. That's the second place GT Am that oval.
Yeah, this has the hallmarks here of, I bet, comes down in just a little bit too much speed through the corner. That rear end is going to stick around. Remember, we talked about that area. It's a very tricky area of track, a surface change going from the infield onto the apron and back out onto the high banks. It's a replay. This is stop and go. Oh, I've done that. I've done that. I've got to admit it. It's very, very easy to do. You can take that out to get back and on by them. As we take a look back, I think we may have found it. There it is. Oh.
He may get a replay coming back to see what happened here through turn number 1. Oh, just a little bit heavy on the throttle. That rear end sticks around, and just unfortunate to be stuck sideways after that. And then a couple of drivers coming through, not really able to see, ducking down to the inside. Even guys taking to the grass trying to avoid the mess. Just could not happen. Fortunately, the Fusion, oh goodness, they just got back on the lead lap. They get turned through the exit of the S's. That's really go. Looks like he's trying to get around the GT Am race leader and under pressure at the same time. Oh, gets a little bit of a tap, trying to make it 3 wide down in there. That's almost taken out our GT Am leader of the number 5, Santos. Great awareness from Santos to not get caught up in that. Honestly, pretty poor driving there from the 5th place GT Pro car to even make that a possibility. Holy crap.
And that is how close that...
My goodness. So much happening on the racetrack at once. Oh my goodness.
Wolf locking it down and forcing one of the LMP2s into a barrier. And there was Christopher Koeniger having to stop.
Going down into turn 1, likely just a little too late, too heavy on the brakes, ripping that outside around. Yeah, we've seen that. Well, it was more of the left front, locking up a little bit first. Maybe he felt that.
GTPs.
Is that a GTP? I thought all the LMP had time for Kohlmeyer to find that 2.5 seconds, and plenty of time for Sachetto to dive down to the inside of the 992 of Miranda for the GT Pro.
Oh, they're both off! They're both
off the racetrack! Sachetto gets spun right around by Miranda, back across the racetrack in front of the GTP race leader. Selena Ward able to catch back up to Peterson just a little bit through that little bit of an issue.
Pull out a bit wide, and got a bit of help from one of the GT Pro BMW. Spins that machine around, but overall, going through Firestone and in towards the Indy left. Boost Motorsports just ahead, but he will lose that one all by himself. And woo, how's that for a good save, keeping that car off the outside wall. See if we can track that down in just a few moments. Right now, though, a lot of this, and into the wall will go to 6th place runner in your LMP2 category. That was just, he's going to overshoot here, I think. And yeah, he sure did. They got rode over by the Vice Motorsports LMP2. That caused him to lose that rear wing, so that car's got no rear downforce now. So then coming into the Firestone turn, just went way too hot, slammed the barriers, and collected a huge mess of LMP2s. And, a big stack up, and the GT Pro behind just could not avoid. Up over one of the narrow sections of the racetrack, just took too much curb, and then spun that car off, and he did back it into the wall. That's a hard hit for the 296 with a lot of downforce to be lost. And here comes Wildenauer makes the same mistake, too much curb and spins it around, even at the same tire tracks, although lucky enough. Part of the race for Vice Motorsports in too hot, loops the back end into the barriers and spins it around, and then sure enough, 2 more cars being spun out wide. Down to the turn 1, he's going to loop that all by himself, and then watch right here, the LMP2 checks up and just gets run over by the Porsche, nowhere to go, and that creates a bit of a track. And just lose the back end again, back into the wall. So he had a fight for. Whoa! Well, there we go. I was just about to mention having the battle for 4th picking up, but that's going to die out as quickly as it came up. As Stefan Jacobson on this one, it's been a big mistake for a lot of drivers today, especially in the GT field. And sure enough, oh, that digital chicane Ferrari did a phenomenal job to miss him. The narrow section of the racetrack, oh, he just lost the back end himself. I thought maybe got some help from the Mercedes. He did not. And then watch here as the Fisher LP2 comes in completely unsighted. Just going to go in way too hot. And then here comes everyone else in behind. Yikes. I mean, to be fair, the TFR car that you saw slam into the pit wall. So a crash coming in through Takade turn. Oh, collides with the full send racing Mercedes, and oh, he's going to get hit here. Yep, there it is. The digital chicane Ferrari that just came into pit road. Nearly wiping out 2 different cars. Some phenomenal heads-up driving from a few of those guys there to get around that mess. Jonathan Dance then. Well, that's an unusual sight to see, and oh, got some help from Screeching Moose and a high-speed spin. And I'm willing to bet too hot into the hairpin. Oh, no, a big Constantina effect, and that takes off the Torque 3 Racing GTP's rear wing. The car, as did Nicholas Peterson. Too much curb again. Whoa! Oh, and some airtime there. And holy cow, who the heck was that in the LMP2 that just meant Van Gemmert and Ronald Gross all coming together as well, coming off of Pine Avenue the Seaside Way. Oh, right there, they just all stack it up and hard hits all around. Husum around again. This is the Race Tech Audi, the 2nd place runner. Oh, he's been turned into the wall by one of the LMP2s. Trying to get around it again, miscommunication. Oh, that's a big cluster of cars. I'm getting nervous. There it is, up on the curb in a Firestone. Spins it out. Great job to keep that out of the wall, though. In too hot in towards Firestone. The lack of rear downforce hurting that car big time, and they will be forced to take the tow to pit road. It's now to go. And the Mundell's battle for 2nd is back. Race Tech back to the inside of RPM. Into the final hairpin contact, and around goes Race Tech. Spins the Audi in the final hairpin. 0-0 again for the Audis. The Pro car. And tucked up right behind the 911 as well, and looking like he just got into the back of the Porsche in front of him. That's a fine job from the field, though, not to make that any worse than a single car spin. In the hairpin, he's got a GT Pro BMW behind, and lunging for the inside. Oh, he tips the back of the Fusion SimSport Ferrari and spins that Lamborghini around. Again, though, a good job for the field and a lot of heads-up driving to make sure that as few cars got tangled up in that as possible. Track, and oh, he had a help too from the Trading Paints car, and that's a hard hit right into the barriers, and he was lucky that car didn't rebound. All the way back to 10th as they go in hard into the hairpin and just lock up and go in way too deep. And then Steinhoff and Littleton having this coming together as the Ferrari looks at the inside of the Mercedes, no room, and hits him once and then hits him twice and spins him around, and oh, collects both MSP cars at one go. There was about 5 cars that go. Car back to the pits. Let's take a look. Oh, 3 wide is never going to work, and he just got hooked by the Kinetic Racing GT Pro. But I have to say, I don't know where that GT car was supposed to go.
They're technically still in this race. So look at a replay of one of the GTP cars being the accident's starting to spice up yet again, and there's a bit of contact. No. Oh. Can he keep up the wall? Oh, great avoidance. Oh.
Bravo Shatton car. This is a completely separate incident down at Sunset Bend. Just got out on the racetrack as well, and oh, losing the back end, and that's going to be a big hit. That's a much more fiercer impact into the wall, and Will that be a day over, or are they going to try to get it back rolling again? It was the first driver to spin it around up the road. They both just dropped it on the brakes, and that GTM Mercedes had a bit of a DS Racing Esports Team Cadillac into hot, clips a Ferrari, and he's going to spin around. Trading Paints goes evasive, and Selena Ward just barely able to make up that ground. Will ride on the run to Sunset Bend. No one behind him, loses it on his own.
And it's such an easy mistake to make in that corner because, oh, as he nudges the
problem, colliding with the HAC class leader and spun off at turn 3. Up as well overall, HAC race. Oh, they're going to get turned!
Oh.
DeMay around, and that's going to let Patrick roll through. Fisher Motorsports is around, and DeMay hook.
position.
Force is trying to hang this one around the outside of Tower Turn. He had the inside for Collier. Oh, he's going to get into the 93. They both are. They're both off. The second and third place runners in GTM come together. Forrester did that to himself.
Don't know. I need to see a replay from above as I say that. I would. It's just a slight tag from Forrester. It maybe just unsettled the.
This is in Sunset Bend.
Yep. So it looks like Guerrero comes into Sunset Bend, and again he just loses at mid corner. He loses at mid corner.
Oh no! Don't tell me. Don't tell me it's what I think is going to happen here. I mean, he's stuck. Oh, I think he's going to pull out in front of Scowers here. Yep, that's exactly what happened.
Oh no!
Ooh, that would do it.
That would be ooh.
That's Adamczyk that gets spun off and hard into the barriers, and that is going to send him out of the race. Look at that right rear. He's all by himself, and I'm willing to bet he took too much curb here and got hooked by it. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Spun it around and hard into the tire barrier.
What do you do with that? Do you stick your quick drivers in, or do you try and maybe stick in your not so quick driver or the Audi back up into to regain the position?
Oh, but just a second later, that same Audi then turned Whitaker hard into the wall. Turn 3, and oh, they turn again as FRS is hooked by Rising Panda. And as the battle for 6 looks like it's starting to intensify, and oh, that's a high speed off for the 42 car, and oh, that's a hard lick into the tires. It's about a lap ago. Well, spins the back out around on the World of Sim Racing machine, just goes off into the grass and gets rolling from there.
From above, it looks like he might try and go by the Connecticut. Oh, yeah, that was never going to work.
Yeah, that's just impatience. And we're looking back at the replay here of Race for Cat Motorsports as the 23 car had a very lazy spin down at the hairpin. Having this moment all by himself in the Composite Performance Machine. That's a very high-speed part of the circuit, too. And too wide of the curve, loose, and oh, hard lick. Inside of Kinetic, trying to make a lunge. And Robert Lancaster spun off the track as he clears himself across Swaby.
Some of these moves that are being done is just the car on the outside. The car on the outside can't move.
Pit road, maybe. Because they both immediately entered pit road. So I wonder if they were both.
Oh.
Well, that answers why we see the Ferrari into pit road, and Robert Lancaster getting into the Texas Speed BMW and just loops the back end. Goes group with the Porsche Horde, fight its way through and gets into it with Firestorm Motorsports. MSP had to go evasive. It did keep it out of the wall, just goes for a spin. It's a tapping one of the GT Pros, and oh boy, just goes straight on class before the start finish line. You have to maintain single file. And whoa, as well, there goes the Tri-State Racing leader, the LMP2 class leader.
How does he get around that contact between both cars?
Whoa.
Nearly supposed to go around, and massive contact, and cars going around.
Crash, and that wipes out. Oh, it was with the Cadillac coming through.
Yeah, but the Cadillac is an innocent bystander here. I think it is.
Battling for position. He wanted to go. I can 100% understand that as, oh, there's Firestorm Motorsports getting tipped around by one of the GTPs as well, but
that was a retirement, but I think the 34, they're still there, plugging away, and the 3 is doing a good job right now, which is really good.
What happened to the number 32 Beamer as he just loses through tower turn, finds the wall, and is that right front busted to you, Lorenzo? Why he went for a slow spin, but it also explains the shaking of the tire we saw. Oh, well, World of Sim Racing gets taken out, and I think Souza jumped it as well, so 5th and 6th.
There is some space on the inside. You do retain that space, and you're kind of blocked off as unfortunately now making it all worse for that.
And then Thomas D'Ambrosio just seconds later coming together with the Go and Racing LMP2, spinning around on a high-speed slide, and
I'm fronting my
oh
head,
no! Violent hit there.
Oh my goodness. That Audi just was sent back to
and
South Carolina.
Ooh, look at the airtime that car got. But what happened to the Fisher Motorsports car? There was a Fisher Motorsports car in there somewhere that got turned around. Separate incident. You see the crash in the background. He's just lost that all by himself and spun it into the grass.
2-point turn work.
Just dropped it on the little bump there, right on the apex.
Break right at the 6-hour mark, losing their rear end. Kind of looks like me, flat butt. Yeah, it's just a terrible start here to the second half of the race, and then looping the back straightaway. We've just got
I wouldn't bet on a caution coming down here soon because we just had one. Oh, look out! Oh my gosh! Huge crash for HAC Racing. Fires it down into pit road, and that is going to be a day ender for Christophe Demey.
I gotta think that if this was, if this was in real life, I think that would be a red flag.
Well, look where he's at. He's blocking pit entry. That would absolutely be a red flag. Corey Hasselo, this was the battle for second in GTM coming together.
Do they disappear out of the camera shot?
We'll start with Rumadinsky. Contact with an LB2. Hard into the wall. Oh, no!
Here, look, if you look at it back, there was a guy right in the path, and it would have just taken out his shins.
So tag into the wall, and in the Trading Paints Racing GTM car. Again, just a lazy spin in the same corner. Spins it up and around, and this is first what happened to the Go and Racing machine for the number 18. Getting into the hairpin, a big check up, and holy cow. VSCA to the inside, contact. Pushed out wide, and around will go. GSC spins him in the middle of the pack. And then while that was going on, Ronald Gross had this moment out of pit road, literally out of pit road, spun the car. It's easy. On the approach, whoa, 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 whoa. Holy cow. Yeah, huge slide. Into the final corner, tags the GT Pro Audi, and that spins him around, and he is going to get drilled by one of the Cadillac GTPs, and that...
Well, that's less than ideal there for the 21. Already 35 laps off the race
big
pace.
Crash.
It's only
Crash coming through Sunset Bend alongside Tri-State. Contact and hard into the concrete wall. Having a pretty significant off as now catching one of the Screech Boost Motorsports, and well, just lost that one by himself. Gowers SS Racing LMP2. They both spun around and went tagging the wall. And then Austin, around the same time when this was happening, you were mentioning Selena Ward having a big problem for the Trading Paints Racing crew.
Yeah, coming out of the last corner, she got sideways and ended up having to stop. I believe, yeah, this might be it. Coming down into the final corner, turn 17. She had actually caught all the way up to the back.
I'm surprised we haven't seen more incidents. I'm surprised we haven't seen more in the rain. But we're seeing the first in the braking zone, right? Oh.
Motorsports Ferrari, and you saw him twitch right there as soon as he hit the brakes. And he just loses the back end. This didn't even get on the power all that hard. Whoa!
Well, it's wiggling a little bit,
as
that's the,
Parsons
no, that was the force
and
feedback
Fonte
from
both
the
going
grass
around and then
reacting
back
to-
at it. Whoa!
5 Parsons again
Hard
off
on the
the
brakes,
racetrack.
too hot.
Having a nightmare in the wet weather.
Spins around. Woo! The Audi just getting around that.
Well, I mean, it worked out for her. Is there an escape path
Oh,
there
I
that's
can tell you
decent
one
enough?
car that's still on slick tires,
I'd
the
be worried
69
taking
car.
the GTP on the... Selena Ward slow again. She's missed another one.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
there.
I
That
think
was
it's gotten
Screech
worse.
News Motorsports. You just saw it in the replay,
The
taking
track
out
is
Alec
deteriorating.
Kahali
Even worse,
as
the
well.
fives around.
In the midst of all of that, it's carnage on the racetrack as the 53 Ferrari got spun around, and then Jason Burney, the 3 car for MSP, has just bended as well. Aaron Beaver's just bended. John Jones is off. We're going to keep on the replay string here because we're going to keep it going. There goes the number 3 car spinning off the racetrack. This is John Jones spinning off spearing off the racetrack, going in way deep. And then Aaron Beaver. And then Aaron Beaver in the final corner
Yeah, I think
here.
it's like the racetrack has gotten worse. I think it's very safe
Lazy
to
spin
say.
again. Slides around and stops. 34 Mercedes just loses that, coming around through turn 1. And, just got nicked by one of the GTPs. And Matthew Orovech, one of the digital chicane runners, has just looped it as well. Spins off into the grass, keeps it out of the wall.
Nightmare for the 80. Nightmare of a
little
lap.
loop.
And you can see how hard the rain's coming down. It's the heaviest it's been.
And then Aaron Beaver with this moment. Seconds later, another car. Oh, boy. Hard into the wall. And Cervone now, the Trading Paints Ferrari.
From bad to worse
Spinning
for
out in
2
Sunset
guys. Both of these guys
Bend.
with a string of
She'll go
incidents
around
back
and
to back.
almost tag the wall. Now, a second ago.
When did that happen for him? Has he been damaged? Well. Oh no.
Yep, and that was...
A little sketchy under braking, not too
that
bad,
was his
but
own
it just
mistake,
never came
too.
back up.
Watch what happens here. What did they hit? What did they hit? All the way down at Cunningham Corner here, Austin.
The one to watch. Oh, we must have had something go on a little bit further back.
Wet conditions. And the LMP2 leader gets hooked as he spins around. Had similar problems, all of these in GTP, Austin.
Yeah, going around turn 1 here, the MSP3 on the outside. I think he tried cutting it back in behind just to try to file in. And again, a little bit too much wheel. I think that's what we're seeing with a lot of these spins. A lot of them are on the apex of a lot of these corners, and that's where you got a lot of the wheel put into it right whenever you're coming off of it. Oh, a little bit of contact. Oh, back across the racetrack. Is that the second place GTP car?
We check back in on Kofoid, who collided. He got turned again by that same BMW that's turned a couple of prototypes in that corner now. And then Aaron Beaver is already off the road and having a bit of a bad day. And that car is already wounded, keep in mind, from that past incident. So approach to the same corner, high speed. And back end's just going to get away from him. Goes for a very long slide out as he has spun his Vulture Motorsports Ferrari around. And the 016 just going to go for that lazy little slide that we are so used to seeing. And John Jones going off the racetrack as well in GTM. He is with the Screeching Moose Motorsports car. Contact coming to the Ultimate Straight and spins him off and, just barely keeps it out of the concrete.
Yeah, this field has spurs and in that dip.
Aaron Beaver and then
like
John
everybody's
Jones
having
as well
a
having
lot
similar
of trouble
problems
on the
off of the
apex.
final corner. As around will go the 34 machine. That was off at turn 1, and then just seconds later, John Jones also going around. Same corner, turn 1.
Well, I thought the chaos might be getting done here pretty soon, but that's proven to be
Just loses it.
wrong. Down, coming out of turn 17.
And then that has put Lucas Santos back into the race lead. Whoa, look out as RPM Racing, hard into the barriers.
He killed him. I mean, he absolutely destroyed him. I don't.
Oh my
I mean,
word.
he had to have not known that they were even there, right? He had to have not had any idea.
This is coming out of Sunset Bend again on a still greasy track. Gets into the secondary of the Tri-State Racing cars. Spins it around and I think has found the fence. Whoa! Look! Oh my gosh. Spawns right back in and gets clipped by one of the GTPs. Entire duration of this field, and we'll once again let you know who's where as around will go Aaron Beaver, middle of turn number 1.
Everybody at this point, if they get screwed over like that, then they would be, I would be so heartbroken for them because they should have everybody lapped. Similar. Like, that's such a weird off. It just looks like the car is just veering in a direction, like he's not actually turning it. I don't know. It's just been a couple weird ones.
I think that's just overshooting the braking point, right? Assuming that it's going to still be the same.
30 off the racetrack. Kunis in the GTP.
He was on slick tires. He couldn't get out.
There's no way.
No, that's exactly what that was. He had a puddle. It's completely wet. That's where all the water drains
Holy
to.
crap.
Right, well, we'll see how. Whoa, here we go. Battle for the lead as Souza tried to open up the door to the inside. Oh no! The top two take each other out! And into the wall goes Souza. Martinez hangs on for the lead. He'll drive away from the wreck as Souza throws it away. And a huge crash in Sunset Bend for the leaders. It wouldn't be a VSCA race without some fireworks at the closing laps for the lead, would it? Every race so far has had it. And, well, that's going to spell an end to the battle for the lead altogether as Ericsson just pounded the wall. Whoops.
I mean, he just took the apex as if there wasn't a car.
Right.
And it's only been 2.5 hours, and that's racing, man. That's racing. Endurance racing.
Thomas Baker again losing control. And he's actually taken off one of the LB2s as well. That, oh my word, a few GT cars having to scramble. That is a horrid way to try and rejoin the racetrack as he'll get himself back rolling those. So that was Thomas Baker having that huge scare.
I can't believe nobody hit him.
I mean, the 30 car almost did.
Well,
sacrifice his own nose to go to the
enough.
wall at the same time, unfortunately. Approaching the high-speed corner, and this is again in a part where it's raining on the track. Underestimate how wet it was.
I gotta say I appreciate him though. It just looks like I think
They just went in too hot into turn 1 and couldn't turn.
out of the wall. I mean, pretty nice.
Yeah, just
Bonus points.
too aggressive
style.
on the brakes. And you're right, did a phenomenal job for Joan Guerrero to keep it out of the wall. That could have been so much worse.
I might be trying to broadcast jinx it at this point.
Another car has spun out of pit road. It is Ryan Steinhoff again for the MSP number 34.
Okay. I was about to say it's wet out there, but hey, there is water. There's puddles on the exit of pit road. We need to crawl through there. We're not seeing that so far, but we're seeing A couple GTPs making a little bit of contact.
That was an LMP2 that caused. We'll do that after we take a look at Joshua Wolf also looping it right out of the. Oh, hello.
Yeah, look at the rain. Look at the rain, man. Look at all that
rain. That's the other
rain.
direction, and he went into the tire barriers.
Yep, leading the LMP2 is going to be Rising Panda Racing. Then in second place is FRS Sim Sports with GSC Esports Racing LMP in third. Tri-State Racing 3-2-1 and Tri-State Racing 1.
Up. Pacing lines entering that hairpin. There's always a big stack. You see everyone checking up big time there. Look at it from. Try to look at it from above. Oh man! Was that was one of the GTPs?
Gonna get a look on the replay to see exactly what happened coming down to turn number 7. Oh man, just really deep by the 621. Absolutely punting the GTM 67 Kinetic Racing out.
Oh, there's a bit of contact there. Puts the 6 into the grass, and the Torque Freak racing car spins it around. Oh, nowhere to go, and the BMW locks it down. Almost gonna bang doors. And trying to lunge it in around the long way of the hairpin. Oh, and around goes Sean Hatfield. Dumps it into the infield.
Just step around on you because at some point through the middle of the corner, you got to turn that wheel a little bit more than you want to, and all of a sudden that back
water.
Just
there was water on the outside of the track. Yeah.
Oh,
well,
did he really?
Check back again. He went out when there was still water on the track. I mean, he was trying to lap the Audi there. Anthony Dring has had a problem. This is again in the final corner, Sunset Bend. Too wide, same situation. Hit the water.
Wide.
Pushed him wide and slammed into the barrier on a hard. It was Narciso that went off the racetrack, and as he collided with the Lamborghini, there was the hit with the Porsche going off and into the grass, and I think we just saw Ronald Gross being taken out in that mix as well. And we got more problems with the LMP2, but we'll cut to that in a moment. There was Ronald Gross getting turned around in the Lamborghini. And he was stopped there for a good long while. Orlando Campos and Kyle Granger still off the racetrack. Ultimate the court through. Holy cow, it's a pile up at the top of the hill.
Oh, that's a huge impact for both of those. The 91, I couldn't quite tell the 48, both into the outside fence coming through the corkscrew. It's going to be a problem area all night. A couple of LMP2 drivers going off.
And then that was two different incidents. One of them hopped the curb, and the other one just got into the back of another. And then that was just clumsy from Scours SS Racing running a GTP field as Stop and Go Racing tried to lunge up the inside of Bravo. So Shatton got into the side at the Andretti hairpin and spun their machine around, had to back it up into the grass and lost a handful of spots. They're down to 21st overall.
Just kind of all kicking off here. I imagine just through, there's that little right-hand kink, and then down into the left. It might just be all by himself here.
Sure was. Got a little bit of help, but that car was already going around and then brought that to a stop just off the racing line and was able to flick spin that car back up and around. And, oh, the two DS Racing Esports cars.
3 on the racetrack, so it might have been 5 wide. I don't really know.
There was at least one car sideways coming through here, and it was Bravo Snow Shatton getting tipped by MMTQ. And, well, not quite 5 wide, but they were 4 with 2 in the gravel. And then Thomas Mora just coming back onto the racetrack, getting sideswiped again by MMTQ and spinning out.
Down to do turn number 2, the Andretti hairpin. It's just under braking, perhaps, on that first apex. Just, that's a very, very lazy spin coming through that double left. That's a strange one. Anybody at the top of the GT Pro field, Composite Racing. That's less than ideal, that scenario without having any major damage.
It looked to me there like Taisha tried to let him through. And the spin, he was already kind of further down the field. This is 12th place in the GTP field, and just drops it.
He's having a difficult time tonight. At 42, I've seen them go around multiple times.
Sorry, no, this is Trading Paints Racing down to the turn 1. And again, just drops it all by themselves with that lazy spin on the entrance.
Braking zone 1. Trading Paints. Trading Paints through acceleration zone 2.
And there is Leslie, speaking of sausage curbs, going into the wall, courtesy of running over one for off of the SS Racing. That was well held, though, and then, RPM just driving into the side of World of Sim Racing Cadillac and spinning them off into the grass. Team in the final corner caught that curb again and just picked it up on the
Oh, man! Rear damage. I mean, that's just, it's huge coming around. And it's pure panic whenever you come over that hill.
And they careen right into the back of FRS Sim Sports. Why is there nobody calling this stuff out? We could have avoided. This was. It's unnecessary, right? To see something like that. Did Scours get a piece of that too, potentially? I mean, I have to say it, but GS Race did nothing wrong. I mean, Tri-State cut right across their nose with no warning of that at all.
Around that one, just a nervy moment. They're getting used to that, though.
Yellow Submarine Squad just punting the Mercedes around and backed it in, and that knocked the Ferrari's front clip off. This is where it gets interesting, seeing how the GTP traffic manages all of this. And well, that's not going to do them any favors. And I had to say it, I think GSC Racing just completely turned in on the training paints like they weren't there. Hardcore. Again, just taking too much and looping it by themselves. And then this is Jack Hedgecock's. This was the move he made for second. Just sniped that one away. Oh, just shot that to the inside of Gowan and spun off the track.
It's a tough corner, and especially whenever you're going in there too wide, and it's that kink beforehand. It's very distant view of the Team Hardcore getting down into the.
This is that's HAC. Dropping at the final corner and slamming into one of the Ferraris, and that causes a massive pileup.
Nope, it actually is in the corkscrew, given plenty of room, but just gave a little bit too much room. Got the left side tires into the dead grass and ripped that thing around. I think 23 from a little bit earlier this time. The 93 kind of turns in like the LMP2 was never going for it, and might have to back that one up to kind of see. Say that there's still an hour and 3 minutes left in this thing, so maybe they'll get a lucky caution that could help them out. But this is Mork. Oh, and the 278, the gravel, the new gravel, dramatically.
It's down to 3.7 seconds now, and again,
it was over 12.
And I mean, again, Orvich
through turn 3, coming under the bridge now. Both stuck on the inside barrier. Oh no!
Oh my goodness! I thought they crashed each other, but no, they both got taken out by one of the Tri-State LMP2s. The other driver that was in that car before Kyle Potter. Oh boy, and there goes Ewan Stitchbury off the track and into the barriers.
Then with the right front earlier in the race, it becomes easier to brake later. So that could have been what we saw as well.
And that is a
leader in composite performance with this issue down into turn number 1. How big was it? Oh, he got squeezed down to the corner. That's a tough one. Obviously he's. No, it's right after the kink. Excuse me. Just looping it down on the second apex down there. Not really too surprising seeing that. I mean, the 93 has just not been themselves tonight. Oh, just pushing it out on exit. That's heavy contact to the inside barrier.
Yeah, the Tri-State Racing 321 just barely avoided disaster there with that one for Yellow Submarine Squad. Ooh, into the back, one of the GT Pros, and then back into the side at the corkscrew.
Out of the way there in the 15. I gotta think Johnston ain't too happy about that.
Oh, it's not over either! Oh no! Fisher Motorsports gets into a big time. That rear wing is gone.
This is unbelievable.
Immaculate timing.
This is hilarious. I just don't even know what to tell you. And that's as hard as you can go into the tire barrier. Or you're always going to be getting lapped by somebody. Oh my goodness!
Or taken out by somebody like that.
That's Orvex into 80. Isn't that our
no, that was
GTM?
That was Quinn Mitchell, but that is the GTM leaders into pit road, and that has put Sean Hatfield to the lead.
No way.
Getting it.
Well, that was his own fault.
I have no words. The lead, but the gap at about 19 seconds now, and then again. Joshua Wolf spun up into the wall by Justin Delano. Well, he's clear, but carried too much speed.
And he's the same one that made the mistake through the kink that took out our.
Because it's races like this. Because if we think back to Long Beach, we both.
Now, you also saw Francisco Santos Pereira going off the circuit. This is the GS Racing Esports machine, and same thing, right? I mean, checked up for a Lamborghini and.
Whoa. Let's rephrase that. It wasn't his fault. We've come to the conclusion it wasn't his fault.
Well, that one, he can only blame himself, but good job to keep it out of the wall. Just went in way too hot.
It was a little confusing. I'm glad there was nobody in front of him that time, because it definitely would have been his fault. Still trying to get back on the racetrack. But man, there's just not a spot. My goodness, he just can't. And it's a blind look over that hill. You can't really tell. Fine.
Oh,
No!
Dropped it
Okay, he's off the
again.
racetrack.
Yeah,
Holy
he's
cow! I
in
thought he spun it back on the racetrack. We were about to get a bunch of people coming. It's just now he's dropped out of the, or he's dropped out from the battle or for P6. Excuse me. Once one more little thing happened, it was all gonna kick off.
Selena Ward, same corner. Oh! Whoa! So Jakobsen was slow, and what Pereira does here. Back of the Lamborghini. Yeah, he's still trying to wrangle that car. There's not a lot of control they have under where that car goes. That was Benjamin Fisher that had this off in the final corner and run over again by an LMP2.
Wow.
Having another off, but this one just self-inflicted. Coming down the hill, went to the bed, dropped it on the exit. Yep, just bottomed out. But hey, for MSP either, as they were alongside Bravo Shatton, and a bit of echo content there for that one. But what do you think? You think they would have gotten into each other regardless?
Oh man!
That I'm gonna hold my tongue.
Just fades down to the inside. Bernie has to back out, and now the 50 gets caught up behind a slower car coming out of turn number 6. That puts them side by side, coming down to the corkscrew for second, and down into the braking zone, still side by side. The 50 gets spun right round.
Look out as one of the Ferraris goes off piste. That was Roy Vermeer. Final 2 laps. This is Francisco Pereira spinning off at turn 6. And he had to kind of fight to get himself back right at throughout 2 positions. They had to come down to pit road. Scours S Racing looked like had a hand to play in that.
I don't know if the
race lead. You've also just got a battle for third. Wow! Went off the track goes Thomas Mora. The DS Racing Esports driver spins way out wide into turn number 12.
couple X's for the spin, but that could have been a whole lot worse again.
Oh, does make a little bit of contact with the back of one of the Vulture Motorsports cars, and that was the Full Send Racing Mercedes.
Down into the heavy braking zone, and now they've got to fight their way through, but this was bad. This was really bad. Just got run over as he's trying to give the GT Pro some room. That's tough, and that's definitely a 4X for a couple guys, and that's
a high-speed spot to lose it on, and around it goes, and hard into the barriers.
Would have completely destroyed their run tonight. I mean, that would have been massive, but this is coming down into the heavy braking zone after the back straightaway. Watch Brandon Walker. He does an expert job here, just getting on the binders, stopping, letting it go, and not forcing an incident, because it was a little, or there was a little bit of inconsistency with the spun race. But again, no incident there. He rejoins just fine, doesn't cause any other issue, but going to be a couple 2Xs on board for a couple of the faster class cars here.
Well, that could have been nasty with Fisher Motorsports directly behind them.
In the middle of the pit cycles like we're in right now, where a lot of these guys don't want to see that caution come out. So hopefully for them, we get a, Toldo going around again under the brakes. Those LMP2s and GTPs have been struggling under the braking zones, the heavy braking zones. The back end just does not seem to get down to the 1 hour, 45-minute mark before they come down pit road. Oh, tight battle. Tight, three wide. Oh, contact! There's going to be an accident here as a couple cars come together. A couple LMP2s in a battle around a GT-AM. Tri-State Racing caught up in it. And that's our second major incident of the night. And that was a weird one coming out of the triple right. Great job giving these guys room on the outside. What incredible job. I think he picked up a 1X from going off track on the inside, but at that
self-inflicted. Again, just locks those rears, spins it around.
Into the same braking zone between a GT-AM and a GT Pro, and, well, the number 2 just spins the thing out on the inside, a little heavy on the throttle. Vice Motorsports gets down into the corner and just loses the back end again into the braking zone, and a little bit of contact there on the front end, and there was a stack up with Dangler Performance, got hit in the left rear, and I think
the 016 Ferrari hard on the binders, and in too hot from behind. It's one of the GTPs, cleans them out into the corner, and that is huge damage there. I'm not sure who that was, but there was no way. That was Thomas Mora. Yeah, no way they were going to make that corner stick. Motorsports here, down the inside, got a bit crossed up, and then coming down the front straightaway, Dan Marquez trying to get around him. Goes for the move, and it's a move that's not on. Puts the Audi into the grass and hard into the barriers.
Down in, well, he's getting passed by a by GTP, and I think he's trying to leave him plenty of room and just, I mean, made a mistake. That's not, I mean, he is holding him up big time, and Digital Chicane's trying to get by It's just...
Goodwin getting turned by Rise Man Racer. That stacks up Benjamin Fisher. They were in a losing battle here.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. And here, the digital chicane number 80 gets to the inside.
There you go. He
Kraus
gets turned.
closes the door. Yeah, he closed the door. That was too...
The Cadillac
Espadina.
behind. Yep, into the back end, and around goes GSC.
Perhaps make a mistake coming through here, or was it a dive bomb? Oh, it might have been a little bit of a dive. You know, we were talking about earlier, right? Orvek's gonna make the same move. It's gonna be through the triple right. Kind of a weird area to lose it all by yourself. I don't think we've seen that all night. That's a strange one.
Runner for off the emphasis racing, not having a good final stand. Oh, hopped the curb once, then twice, and well, didn't learn the lesson after the first hit, and I think he was still trying to settle the car, and unfortunately went right over the second, and that's when that car fully went around.
So iRacing gave them the green flag to go. Look at Screechy Moose Motorsports to the inside, trying to get a move done into turn number 1. Everything just stacked up in front of them.
Same deal again, that car, the Cadillac just going around and...
Not a late move. It ends up being kind of late. Oh, just gets tagged with the Fisher Motorsports 44. But, I mean, look at Screechy Moose.
That is, that's going to be one for the team debriefing room after tonight. Tough break. And Sam Vaughn now with problems. Oh, Sam Vaughn, that was already on the instant.
Of points to the Digital Chicane 93 and 80, but now they're in the podium spot in the GTM, and man, he just got absolutely punted. Motorsports is in second now for GTM. Oh, they've lost it in the final. Oh no! At the end of the straightaway, they got.
Yep, right there. There's not a lot of damage on that Ferrari, so it should be able to get itself back up and into fine contention. Got some help from one of the GT Pro Porsche.
Oh, that's tough. That is the second place qualifier for the GTM. Side by side. Oh, doesn't really work too often. Getting caught on the inside, making a little bit of door contact. Honestly, that's as good as that could have gone. It's that Digital Chicane number 93. But like we've mentioned, the problem at this racetrack...
Oh, look out! Big trouble! Nelson Clemente hard into the wall. He goes to the war. We got one up and over. Bravo Snow Shafton goes into it hard. And the DS Racing Esports team car went skyward.
Right here, just skipping on that... Oh, the left-hander. I ran the 6 hour of the Glen yesterday. And in my practice, that second left-hand bus stop curb is the problem spot. If you cut it just a little bit too hard, bounces your car up off the racetrack. And, well, with these flat underbodies, you want to keep it, even with the bottom side of the racetrack. And, well, hitting that curb really, really hurts. And I said number 5. He was running 5th place. That's the number 10 that made the mistake, the NGC Esports team. That's a huge accident there.
The DS Race guys nearly cleared the fence. They were riding on top of the guardrail there as they came down and through here. That was Francisco Santos Pereira. And just went out wide, got a little bit unsettled, and around it went. But that's there's the DS Racing Esports machine, and just got hit. That is a huge crash for Going Racing. As the Vulture Motorsports Ferrari just pulls a hard left into the wall. We believe that screen went blank, which is we were coming back. Check
stack up in front. That's massive. That's massive. Is that?
They're still
Oh no, that was the 44. Holy cow! The huge stack up coming into the boot.
Where did this happen at?
Oh, Salino.
Oh, look out! Oh no!
The LMP2 hard into the wall. Go! Oh, I can't quite tell you that. It is a huge accident. He's sliding up on top of the guardrail, hitting the... Oh, the caution flag is flown.
Caution, roadblock. That is a caution. Holy cow, one of the GTMs flies over the top. What in the world was that?
GT Pros, their rear end's destroyed.
The HAC racing car nearly cleared the wall. And then
my.
all of a sudden... Golly.
Holy cow, man.
Frank.
I'd like to get a view from the cockpit of Daniel Keene, Hack Racing. I feel like that's where the actual major incident kicked off, and it was in reaction to the Fisher Motorsport LMP2.
We focused a lot on Daniel, but look at all the cars that got damaged outside of that. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna quit.
Holy cow! I mean, he's gotten out of it unscathed. I'm telling you, just this little bit of contact right here. This is it. That's not heavy.
That's not. Well, maybe
I think he
took it
did,
out.
but it was the tiniest of touches to where there's no damage on the Screeching Moose Motorsports number. A little wide through the bus stop for Vermeer. Might give that MSP another opportunity through the carousel.
Oh, no!
He sends him around. They both go spinning.
Oh, boy. Hang on. Steinhoff going to correct and get himself rolling. That was a nervy moment, and this is at speed. And oh my gosh, no kidding. Oh boy!
Yeah, that's a race ender for
hit.
2 cars. That's a moments coming down into the bus stop where you just never know who's gonna be the one to give and who's gonna be the one to take. This time, oh no! That's the 3rd place runner going spinning.
Opposite performance just behind, and same deal. Just a bit of miscommunication, then got sideswiped, spun around, and
I'm telling you, he sits here forever. And if we can go back and look at that again here in a moment, I feel like the 15 just crowded him too much. The 911's not totally on the curb, but it's still right on the entry of the corner. He's a foot ready 23 laps down to the LMP2.
So shot.
I think he's trying to get out of the way, let a car go. Spot right there for him.
Yeah. Right behind RPM, but I think this is self-inflicted. Yes, sir. Too much curb, hard into the wall.
And it's more the angle than anything. You can take that much curb, but you've got to hit that. For Toldo, here coming through here, Toldo holds him pretty narrow. Gross comes off the curb ever so slightly, and they make door contact. Gross spins around, does a couple 360s. If I didn't grow up on it, I wouldn't be using it. I can tell you right now.
Oh no! Huge crash! Oh no! That's the GTB and the GTM leaders! That's 2 of the class leaders that are out!
Just in his mirror, I feel like you have to be a little bit more deliberate with your movements, and it was a very lazy...
That's the racing line. That's the racing line.
I agree. That he was not into the outside fence. That could have been a racing.
Take a look. Yeah, lock that thing down beautifully. The Full Send Racing number 94. And they got tipped by one of the MSP cars and spun it off and into the Essence. This part as Wolf dropped this one right in the middle of the bus stop. And
I just did it again, by the way. I said number 8. That's his daggum. Yes. It's the exact same incident, except Hardcore didn't crash with him.
No, ouch. That is a very hard hit into the wall. That's a lot harder than I thought.
Be the second curb of the bus stop again? Second inner
Probably.
curb, I should
Yep,
say?
Yep.
I mean,
ouch.
It's just obvious every time I see somebody entering the bus stop and we know through and then there was a big gap, so I definitely get why there wasn't in that scenario. But there you go.
That's a lot tougher, though, to call, I feel. We're going to back that up a bit more and take another look, because this...
Loops it. And this is a corner we thought we were going to see more incidents in. I think this is only the second one we've seen.
He had help.
I think he got held way too narrow. He was...
Coming down through... Oh, boy. Okay, wow. So the Firestar Motorsports went off, and Tri-State went off with target fixation. And the Luca Harmony, the second-place runner in your LMP2 field, right behind Vice Motorsports in the battle for the lead, went down the inside, and that is not the line, and found himself nosing it into the fence.
Last corner, the 14 was always going for the move down here, and just kind of chopped him. I mean, he's on the curb on the inside, faster class car coming through, maybe just a little bit too tight there for the 94. Yeah, second curb, second inside curb. Oh, wow, wow. Oh, and that's way worse.
Oh, boy.
Holy cow. Man, coming around the slow left-hander at the top of the crest. We mentioned it. We expected to see more incidents here. It hasn't happened. Just the back end stepping around, a little unstable. They actually pulled out a little bit of a gap. Coming through the bus stop. Once again, second curb. Oh, and that's a lot bigger than what we've seen so far.
Oh, yeah.
Stop. He cut it too tight. And he's got no one around him. He doesn't have to make that good of lap time, and he just cut the heck out of it.
Ouch. That is a wild wreck. One of the wildest wrecks you can see. This is the lap he came down to the pits on. And... oh, hot curb. No. Oh, boy. That's a...
on a run.
Second curb.
Second
curb.
Second place.
Oh, it's the first curb.
First curb.
That's a new one. Don't see that often. and oh boy. Oh, no kidding. Kinetic Racing just turned him. I'm not sure what. Oh, he got turned.
Oh, he got turned.
That's the GT Pro leader that turned him.
Man. Was it?
It's going to be on board and second bump every time.
Second bump, baby, second bump.
Oh, no.
Out. Oh, no.
Oh, that's not going to work. Yep.
That was a very hopeful dive. Away from that thing, and it looks like the 94s found it once again, but they're side by side for the LMP2 race win.
Oh,
contact!
no!
Contact! The Tri-State Racing Machine goes into the outside wall. And it's not. It's tight still between the two LMP2s. That's enough time. There's enough time for Comprager to run him down as long as he didn't get too much damage.
One of this incident, and they just had it coming together at the apex, and it looks like Bravo Shatton just went off and tried to avoid that. Time after time again, and oh, it's at the back of the SMM car in front of him. Yeah. Take a look.
Too much curve on the inside, got twitchy on the exit, tried to correct it, overcorrected, and that's a nose into the outside fence. And calling it quits, he didn't hit anything, I'm surprised. Oh, wow. Oh,
dear.
wow.
Well, that's not what you were hoping to see early on. Was that the MSP car?
Of it. Road America is very much a exit speed racetrack. Oh, man, that was the contact through 3, sending the 3 GT cars around, just getting in a little bit too deep.
Wide with LMP2 and GTM traffic on the approach to turn 5. Oh, too much speed. Oh, yeah, way too much speed. Just locked the rears.
But looking at the replay coming down to Canada corner for a couple of these guys. Oh, just too heavy on the brakes once again.
Look at the Fisher Motorsports Porsche there, locking it down. Did a good job. This one, maybe? There we go. Got into the side of the Ferrari, it looked like, maybe? Wall, and that is approaching the final corner, and he just hopped the curb way too much.
Well, and we're going to start seeing people make these types of mistakes because the flick spin, like the NASCAR cars do, I've learned over the last couple weeks. Oh, man.
Yikes. That was a huge off. Team Hardcore going around and just lost that one by himself. I guarantee you that is that's slick tires on a wet track for you. Just swung wide, clipped the grass. I think that may have happened regardless if it was wet or dry because he had 2 tires into the grass there. And the approach, I'm not sure what corner this is. I believe that is down into turn 3 though. So missing barrier 1, but then clattering into barrier 2, which is unfortunate for them. This is the Traded Paints Racing Machine. Vulture Motorsports helping her out, and she spins it around. Doesn't hit anything. Going around for Screechy Moose Motorsports.
That earlier one out of the last corner
Lazy spin
was going, and then we saw Demai do it as well. And that's what we're getting the replay of now. So, yeah, I think it's safe to say the track is not good. Toldo. Excuse me, Toldo for Bravo Shatton.
Whoa! Oh, no! John Jones for Firestorm Motorsports spinning
on a dry racetrack, so running way slower of lap times. These guys are tiptoeing around, and if you don't tiptoe, you...
The LMP2 race lead. This is what happened to Kevin Mueller. Whoa! Just snapped the Audi around. Managed to get himself, managed to get that ship righted, but only just, and he spun it around. Has both had incidents.
Wait a minute. Has Kaprowski passed? Kaprowski's passed it right back.
This is down to turn 5.
That's right in front of your GTP leader, too.
Whoops.
Lost the lead back to the 93. I'm not quite sure when the 93 passed the 80 back. I think the 80's had a couple of issues.
Wild spin for Sousa. There you see the Tri-State Race LMP2 just going off in sympathy, so... It's that curve. They just keep clipping that curve on the inside, and it just hooks you around, especially in the wet like this.
I mean, if he was right on the edge of the fuel window, you got to think Toldo's only got probably 5 more laps of gas. If he wasn't on the edge, then who knows? Maybe Toldo can stretch it a little bit further, especially because, like I said earlier, they're running so much slower in the wet. They are going to save a lot of a lot of fuel. 25 seconds slower. I can't tell you exactly how much fuel they're saving, but that's a hefty amount of gas that these guys are saving lap after lap. I believe Kaprowski was driving at the time. Kyle Loach just got in the car.
Yeah, I think you're right, but ouch.
Yeah.
Swing on that car. So,
that's a big problem.
So the loss of
And the
downforce
wet-
is understandable as he
Yeah.
slammed that thing into the kink. So I have to find out what happened to Dave Slider that caused him to lose that wing.
Yeah, good luck getting around this place in the wet.
Oh, man, the other digital chicane car spun off. Oh, boy. Oh, he lost that one on entry and just never recovered. And Firestorm Motorsports got damage on the front. Yeah, it was. The 992 just got into him.
Oh, that's pretty straightforward.
Trying to be
And
nice
that'll-
about that one, but that might, well, that's
Out in just about every race. And a lot of that has been stuff through no fault of their own. And they're finding themselves up at the front of the field, hoping and praying.
really treacherous, doesn't it?
Oh, what in the world?
Souza just looping it on standing. Oh boy, Delano off at the same corner did the same thing, and just missed him.
Oh! They're thinking, what in the world, man? I'm so far off the racetrack. How in the world could you have possibly ended my race? Luckily,
Just went straight, locked up.
no, that.
Up down the hill to a point where they could get it safely turned around. Yeah, just lost it, overcorrected. Didn't hit anything. So it's a good save overall. Got it off the racetrack relatively quickly. Yeah,
Looking back, is this North Sim Racing?
Tri-State.
Tri-State.
Whoa,
321 going
boy.
off. Oh,
Ow.
car off of the curb, and that's going to be the
Oh.
1X. So hardcore. Going around, losing a spot to Fisher Motorsport. That was
Two spot, and well, he made the pass and immediately went off and into the grass, into the gravel trap. So back at this, and
he
Yikes.
turned in way too hard to that kink. Way too hard.
especially over Bart Matic. Now look at that car get up and into the air and nearly flipped over.
And we've gotten kind of late on the replay, so I don't want to say that 100% that he cut in a little bit too hard. Maybe the car in front missed the apex ever so slightly. But
And we're going to see now what happened here. Just cuts to the inside, locked up, went into the side of the GTM race leader, it looked like it. There was just nowhere for Kyle Lowe to go.
replay to see exactly what happened down into turn one. Just
Locked
missed his
up.
braking zone. Just missed his braking zone.
Oh, and the Neil
and a
Middleton
spinner on
spun
the
out as
inside.
well.
Going through the S's, trying to find a way through. Oh, the way goes spinning, or sorry, to 88. Further back for the GTPs. He's running the 8th place spot. He has just looped it around. The GTP race leader get by him. He's having a tough time just getting it back to the pits. Yeah, we've seen that once already today. That he's making a move to the inside.
It was with help.
Oh, I don't know if he overshot the apex or if he got pinched down on the apex. That here tonight so far. This has been a really good race to watch. The lap traffic's been mostly kind to everybody. The 55 or 555 just fine.
So, Kinetic Racing Porsche just behind, looking to lap the Mustang. He just turned him. Turned the Mustang, and that Mustang lost control, and nothing the BMW could do.
Yeah, it looked like he squeezed him on the little short shoot down to the left-hander, and
Huge crash coming down to turn number 1, launched that car into the air, and he got turned by Grizzly Motorsports, it looked like.
oh my word, just coming down into turn 1. This is the lap before, right? Yeah, this is the lap before making the move back. These guys have been going at it lap after.
Seems BMW. Contact, he got pinched in a little bit by the Fisher Motorsports Porsche.
It was not Rising Image.
I think it was Crouch. Yeah, Crouch lost it in front of Santos, and he went off the racetrack, spun it around. Tell you what, Fields did a great job there to miss him, though. That could.
I agree. He definitely pinched him too narrow on that apex right there, right? And it didn't really give Fisher Motorsports much room on the racetrack to at least try to keep that prototype on those, paying attention to his mirrors enough or what, but clearly got to the outside, gets squeezed out to the outside. Maybe missed the hip check, but huge impact for the 29 down to the inside.
That's a big hit for Roy Vermeer, who went off the racetrack. That's a hard lick into the wall as well. The tail end, and then GTP finished him off, and I can guarantee you right there, that was just Fisher Motorsports not realizing it was going to be loose under the corner. Came from that, and in fact, he turned in on Rising Panda Racing trying to lap him and wrecked himself.
Ideal.
He dropped it by himself, and he got hit by one of the tries. Oh boy, that's a dangerous thing to do, just backing across the racetrack. Nearly took out one of the
car inside.
Just wasn't anticipating it. Maybe thought. Whoops.
Just weird. The back end just dropped away from him.
Tyler Campbell with an off at Oak Tree Bend, and he's found the wall as well. It's a pretty big hit into the wall as well. So that could lead to some trouble for Campbell in the final stage. LMP2's having trouble. Just lost the tail end and spun that thing around. And then this is what happened to Patrick Boylard.
He got passed by Harmoning, and then Harmoning overdrove the corner, 2 wheels off into the grass, comes back on and clips the left rear in the last sector of the last lap.
Speedway, it's go, go, go for the 6 hours. We've already got trouble. One of the GTPs has lost its front nose, and it's mayhem down to turn number 1.
Honestly, no, it's
Torito jumped it.
It's like I was talking about, Nolan. There was a bit of a bottleneck going on in the blind spot. So as you look at the replay now, heading into turn 1 and turn 2, and I think it might have. The Mayer Simspeed car went across the grass. I wonder if that was just a case of too much speed.
That's just 2 separate incidents altogether right there.
Starting, never made the grid. There's they caught that inside curb there, and yeah, just that was a high speed off. It's the grass. No, he didn't. So it was just he just lost the rear end mid corner.
Then what happened to the Wolf Motorsports car? Just lost it by themselves, nosed it pretty heftily into the wall. This is where it gets a little bit out of control though, because oh man, the Grizzly Motorsports car just barely managed to avoid disaster with that. Oh, and dangling performance as well. Just whoopsie daisy. He did make some contact to that. Careful. That was Travis Linscomb Hatsfield getting around that mess. Sports car still off the racetrack. Just gonna step the back end out.
Sorry, move.
And it looks like they've actually lost a spot because they got some help. They were turned. Turned by the car they were just battling with.
I wonder if he just got caught out in cold tires.
That's exactly what happened. Lost it on cold rubber, and boy, the scrambling that some of those prototypes had to do to avoid him was insane. And then a great job on all the GT3. Some very heads-up driving. No doubt their spotters were warning them in their ears. Rising Panda racing cars, and just locked up the rears and spun it around coming into turn number 8.
Digital racing car turns in, and they misses the corner slightly and just gets tagged.
Just a massive concertina. That Rusty Specialist car got drilled in both ends. First both with an off, and yikes, that is what happened there. Contact coming down to turn 1. That's why they that was why they were forbidding 3 wide on the initial start, is that right there. Oh, yep, that was a big hit.
Yeah, it just looks like the Porsche in the middle of the corner.
At a moment, as they got sent back to the other side, they also went into the fence.
Hopefully, as you look at the replay, Ryan Waring,
and he has ended up finding himself going off the racetrack as a result of this, and he was lunging with the inside of the Connecticut racing machine and just locked the rears, spun it out all by his lonesome.
Yeah, it just looks like he got offline ever so slightly and just caught the marbles, and it just caused him to lose it mid-corner. But it looks like the MSP car got tagged round as well. That was
Sam Vaughn going off, and that's a weird spin there. Did he lock the rears? Zolakius, Russ Spatula's LMV2 having this problem. Whoops, spins it out, and they opted to just take the tow to pit road, so they... Yes, sir! Oh, man, going with another near miss. New front clip on that car. Loops the back end, careful, and just spins it off. But again, does a good job, kept it off the wall. Oh, this time it's the other way around. GTP getting turned by a GTD. In the corner, he's trying to lap the Vision 1 Motorsports car, and oh my goodness, just contact and then hard hit into the fence. That's a weird one to see. Well, this was the DS Racing Esports GTP, and oh my goodness, there was more contact there that we didn't see. Oh no.
Oh no, please don't say there's not been it.
Oh no.
Oh, the TFR car got caught up as well, and a case of, it just lost the rear on entry.
And Yikes.
They've only got four pretty
Oh,
much.
no!
Oh, the MSP car spun.
He was running within the top 5, and now he's all the way back to 9th. And one of the GT Pros, too opportunistic. That was the second place run of the Delta Racing car. This was the digital chicane car. Going for a spin in turn 8, just picked up too much on the curb. The other end of the racetrack.
Yeah, so it's like,
boy.
oh. Yeah, that was the first motorsport, the GTP car trying to get by-in later of it.
Kyle Granger just, oh my goodness, there was a few of them that went around there. And that's because Scowers turned him, and then turned himself.
So,
Oh boy, and then Ronald Groach being bullied out by one of the Fisher Motorsports GT Pros.
He held on to that, but as I looked at
Tires.
yeah, I was going to say it looked like a case of cold tires because when he got, I think it's just maybe a case of it was an LMP2 car that tried to, just.
Oh, and that's with help from the Wolf Motorsports car, who again, and then MSP tried to take advantage and just didn't happen that way.
Yeah, I saw what MSP were trying to do. They were trying to double right-hander and they...
Not quite. He locked the rears trying to keep it out of Fisher up the road. That's after contact with Real Pixel Motorsports, turning them around. Having a problem. And is this... Nope, just lost that by himself. Oh no. Oh, I hope this doesn't go down the way I think it might have. Sure. Meanwhile, Danny Fonte, oh boy. The second place runner getting tipped. Had he just come out of pit road there?
I was going to say, if that's out of pit...
Rack it up quickly all of a sudden as the track heats up. Oh man! And that's just a bunch of lap traffic left with nowhere to go. Off limb prepped. Going off of the Wolf Motorsports Ford. Just a lazy spin through turn 2. No, that's... Oh, just clipped the grass on entry and around it goes.
Yeah, it's not been the best of races for us.
As he just goes for a lazy spin, but the big one is Marco Villela, the GS Racing Esports Team GTM runner, turned by the World of Sim Racing car, hard hit into the wall. And that looks like, and this is Orvech just going for a little slide, a lazy one coming out of turn number 1 of this race. This is Pedro Espadina, just took it too wide into the grass, and that is big problems for your pole sitter as he spins it off, and right in the background you can see a couple of the LMP2 cars getting collected. These are 2 completely separate incidents.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's back to live. It's a replay. Sorry. Yeah, the 47 car. I think
that's what happened to Wildenauer after. Oh, the digital chicane GTM just ran him over.
Yeah, and it's such an easy mistake to do. And the other day, as I just look at the 312 car as well, it was just a lazy self spin, and that there in the GTM class. The one with the one with the sim racing BMW just got tagged by, it looked like the Fisher Motorsport GTP car.
Oh, he just went too wide and hit the grass.
Just caught the grass on the outside of the curb, and he was lucky not to get collected.
Oh no, there is tires there. Just
turned around, and it looks like
just
out.
Oh my goodness!
That was a big one.
Over.
And I wonder, Nolan, if this is the case of the typical iRacing glue.
Oh wow! Whoa, boy! That is a violent, not a violent snap, but.
I wonder if it's on the X's. Oh!
Up over the hill, same place as before. But then this is where it really hits the fan. Just spinning off the road into the wall.
Yeah, just what the 992 car.
Just no brakes.
Yeah, it just looks like one of the digital chicane cars. Just never made
was
an
the
attempt.
93. Talk about clumsy, he just never held the brakes, just rolled right back onto the racetrack.
Yeah, I looked at the replay from on board, and it looks like the 992 car just coming up now and just.
No time to react.
Yeah, that was just the 992 car just never held the brakes. That was pathetic.
And Pedro
just looks
Mori is having this problem. It just keeps going. Trying for it. Oh, in contact, and around goes going. Same deal, just got turned in on like they weren't there by a car setting up for turn 3.
Oh, and again.
Same deal. That's the 4th time now.
I know it's easier said than done, but you've got to leave some room. Oh, it looks like this is the replay of what happened to the 50 car.
As he's going to go for just a little bit of a slide. Problems.
And
that's with hell.
Oh, I don't know. I think he might have drifted out wide into the.
Right. Can he hang it around the long way? Oh, he's turned him! Elbaga punted into the gravel trap.
Yeah, he tried to go up the inside of the 33 MSP car, and yeah, that was a bit. We've seen quite a lot of that. Oh, was that one of the championship contenders? That was.
If you look right there, you saw how much that car got unsettled and just around it went.
Lost it possibly. Did he get tagged around it? It looks like he might. Oh, he just lost it.
Noses it big into the concrete. Oh, don't tell me. Oh, nope, that was all self-inflicted. He just got loose. There's nothing that LMP2 could do. Off the road. Whoa, boy, hang on.
That was a
wild ride there. Oh, and now the 992's around. That checks up the leaders. It checks up the top 3. But then this is what. Oh no, it's out of pit road. Oh no.
I mean.
Oh boy.
This is a mistake of getting out. No, he just lost the rear end on corner entry. I wonder if that was a.
Surprise. 2 wide to exit of 5. Hops over the grass. Oh, he does clout the. Concrete pretty hard there. Watch the angle. This car goes into the wall. That's not nothing. I mean, that's not something you can just brush off. He's going to have to take great care now.
To make a move, and
oh, no!
Oh, that was. Yeah, that was. Yeah, that was not the wisest move in the world. Eager to get by and unlock themselves, instead of just being a little bit more safe and a little bit more respectful.
Good save. He kept that front end fully on the racetrack as well. A little hairy, but.
Yeah, into the corner. Oh, he just lost it mid-corner.
It's a hard hit right into the concrete.
Away because it looks like. Oh no! Oh, he got collected by one of the It looked like the MSP GTP car checked up, and then basically the MSP car from GTM was turned in. That was a bit of a. And I think it is. Is it? No, actually it's not.
That's self-inflicted.
Yeah, that was the same mistake that happened to another GT car.
Well, Denisio. Oh no! Look out! Dennis Denisio. Count it. Number 5. 5th time that's happened this race. This was that incident right now here, actually.
It didn't look like any contacts. I think he's downshifted a little bit too early and the rear's come around on him.
Yeah. And this is Aiden Campbell having a bit of a slide out of turn 5, and well, couldn't really tell if he hit the wall from that angle. I don't think he did. The camera didn't come to a sudden stop, which I think that clears him of any contact with the wall. Maybe just a tiny kiss. I don't think he hit it though. Oh, MSP went wide. They went wide, checked up, and then the LB2 just tried to get too greedy with that.
That's what you just go.
This is what happened to Middleton. 7.
Oh.
Count it, number 7 that has happened now. And he had help. He had help with the third place runner in GTM. Just, whoa, the 44. Just sneaking through there.
That was a 7.5. I think we need to talk a little bit more about fatigue because it is creeping in.
He's just trying to get himself back rolling in. I think he didn't realize, well, I mean, and he was in the grass. He did try to lock it down, but it was just too late. He's through 6. Going to the inside and 7. Going just loops it. Kaprowski had nowhere to go. And with this spin, they have effectively annihilated any chance of that happening. And the worst part, it was all self-inflicted.
For one moment, I thought that was the 017 car that leads GTM.
Nope, not quite. It's hard, though, when the numbers are so close to each other. Elbaga, Maltsev. Oh, no!
Oh!
And around goes Travis Linscomb-Hatfield in the back of the field. And going in way deep to try to avoid whatever's happening, which is some great heads-up driving. And considering the netcode probably still would have